Listen, I won't be here before you long. I said I had to move my sign up a little bit. How is everyone doing? Come on in. Come on in, chosen ones. Good evening. I won't be here long. I need to go to bed. I got to get up early. I wanted to do a quick video today before I go to bed. How is everyone doing? Listen, I just wanted to come talk to you all today. Just briefly, because I have to get ready to go to bed. Trying to get on a little schedule, a little routine here. How's everyone doing? I know it's late. Kind of shocking that I'm here. But I wanted to continue my message from earlier, right? And you see the topic here. You see the topic. How is everyone doing tonight? So you see the topic. So I just wanted to come, just give you a brief. And hi, Jacqueline. Hello. All right. It's late. I never come on this late. But I wanted to just come and just briefly just discuss the message I did earlier about people bondage, right? I had to take my hair down and I was getting ready to go shower. I said, you know what, let me just come and do this quick message. And, you know, the only way we're going to be free, right? The only way we're going to be set free from people is to just let them go. Let them go. If not let them go, let go of their, ideas, ideals, their expectations. Because a lot of us, we can't be free, right? We're not free because, people have their expectations on us. They've placed their projections on us, how we should be, right? How we should be for them. And we have to be delivered from that. We have to be set free from that. Which means you have to do what it is you desire, regardless of how someone else feels. Because most of the time, what you want to do is not harming anyone. It's not to harm anyone. You just want to be great. You just want to do what it is, right? How I was. You just want to do what it is that God has put in you to do. And in order to do that, you have to be set free from what people are going to think, what they're going to say, because they're going to say things. People are going to talk. We have to we have to call it what it is. People are going to talk. And we be so concerned about what people think of us that we get into this moment of freeze. We just freeze and don't do anything because we're so concerned about, hello, Gloria, about what other people think. And we have to get out of that. We have to be set free from that. We have to be set free. And set free, don't mean that you have to go and let somebody oil you down and, you go through all these religious rituals. No, being set free is that you make a decision and you decide that you're going to do what it is that God has put in your heart to do. You're going to become who it is, right? That God has designed you to be. You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to let people know. You don't have to go on Facebook and say, this is the year I'm going to do this and that and no more this. You don't have to make your announcements, right? Because sometimes We just like let people know this is what it's going to be. I'm not going to do this and that this year. I'm not dealing. No. What you need to do is just do it. Make a decision and you do it. You don't have to let anybody know, okay, this year. No, you let your actions speak for you. Oh, yes, Gloria, he surely will. And let me tell you, and I'm going to be honest, it's going to get a little tough because, you know, whenever you decide to do something, right? Especially if you're trying to decide you want to live right and do the right thing. All hell is going to break loose. I'm just telling you. It's going to feel like everybody is leaving your life. People are turning their backs on you. It's going to feel like turmoil because God is moving things and people out of your way that are not designed to go where you're going, right? So, but that's what I want to talk about. You have to be delivered. You have to be set free from this. And I know it's not easy. But you have it's something you're going to have to do. You have to set your mind and tell your mind, listen, regardless of how people feel and how they want me to be, I have to be who I am. Because half of the, you know, especially the chosen ones, we kind of bend and what is it? Bend and what that thing called? I'm trying to not it's bend and move. We kind of go and move with how people want us to be, how we perceive, you know, how they're projecting us to be. That's what we do. We kind of adapt. That's what I'm saying. We adapt to the environment. No more adapting to the environments. We got to let the environment adapt to us. And it's not in a selfish way. This is in a way, is what I'm saying is, you don't dim your lights when you go into a room. Let them put on some shades. They have to put on some shades or close their eyes or something. You're not adapting to anyone else's energy and how they want you to be. We're not in that business. We're not in that business of just adapting. Oh, me too, Gloria. I did too. You're talking to a notorious one. I think I got a PhD in that. Well, I gave them back their PhD. I had a PhD in that. You know, not wanting to make people mad and not wanting to say what I need to say, not speaking up for myself. You know, when somebody's doing things that I don't like, just always wanted to keep everybody at peace and keep the peace in the room. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I've been stopped doing that. That's old news. Hey, Jacqueline. Yeah, that's old news. Like, you can't be who everyone wants you to be. You can't be everything to everyone else that you forget who you are. That's why when you start being who you truly are, that's why people start looking at you all like you're being fake and phony, because you're so used to pretending to be something you're not. You were originally being fake and phony to make other people feel. That's what you were doing. You were being phony and fake because you wanted, you wanted them to feel comfortable. You didn't want to shine so bright. You didn't want to, let people know how intelligent you are or how wise you are or that you know how to do a certain thing because everybody else is flexing. So you don't want to show your brilliance. Look, you don't want to show your brilliance and your knowledge because you don't want anyone else to feel insecure. That's their problem. By you speaking up, showing that you know something or you're good at something, that has nothing to do with you. If they get mad by, because of that, that's their issue. That's their issue. If someone get mad, if someone gets mad at you because you're soaring and you want to finally become who you feel you are inside, and they get upset with you because of that, that's their problem. That has nothing to do with you. Look, it don't have anything to do with you. You got to let people keep their stuff. Give people back their stuff. Give people back their stuff. That's why I talk about healing. Because when you heal and you finally find, once you get to know yourself and know what it is that you desire, right? And you start working towards those things, you're not going to be so concerned with what other people think, what they're going to say, because they're saying it anyways. My thing is they're saying it anyways. So you might as well give them something a little bit extra to talk about. And it has nothing to do with arrogance. And they'll love to say you think you're better than somebody. No, you let them keep their stuff. Whatever they're projecting or however they are thinking about you, let them keep that. Let them keep that. Exactly, Gloria. Sometimes that's why God calls you away from your family sometimes. That's why he pull you away. It is not for you to hate your family. Sometimes what happens is, we can get so familiar and comfortable that he has to cause division between you and your familiar place. He has to cause division between you and your familiar place because he's trying to call you to do something. But you don't want to go because you're just so familiar. You don't want to leave your kindred. You don't want to leave the comfort zone. Because you don't want people talking about you. You don't want people saying you think you all that. You think you better than somebody. You looking down on people. And you never said any of that. You never projected. You never perceived. That's them and their projections. That's them and their projections. You have to let them sit with themselves. Because what it is, whenever you leave or you do something that your family is not doing, sometimes you stepping out of the box and you doing something makes them look at themselves. It's almost like they feel you're trying to make them look bad, and you're not doing that. The only thing you're doing is being who God is calling you to be. That's what's happening. You're being, and you're walking into your purpose. You're walking into your boldness, and you're doing what God is calling you to do. So they're looking at you and getting mad and jealous because you finally got some guts. You finally start believing in yourself, and you believe you can do it. And now you believing you can do it, they have to look at themselves and ask themselves, why are they not doing what God is calling them to do? You are a mirror to them. And unfortunately, some of those people are going to get mad at you. They're going to hate you for stepping into your purpose. But that's part of it. Is either you're going to let these people stop you from doing what it is God has called you to do, or you're going to walk boldly into what he's calling you to do. You can no longer sit and be afraid of what other people are going to think, what your family is going to think. It's either they be for you or against you. But you can't stay there fighting them and worried about them, because guess what? You're losing time. And we don't have a lot of time. You're losing time. Yes, God don't want us to be comfortable all the time. That's why he's moving you. He's trying to separate you, some of you all. That's what's wrong with you. You're too comfortable. You're too comfortable. It is. It's very lonely, Gloria, but you have to remember there's no better reward than doing and fulfilling what it is. Let me tell you something. Whether you have people around you or not, sometimes you still feel lonely. You still feel lonely because people don't really understand you. I'd rather be by myself than to be around people who don't understand me and feel like I'd always be fighting for something, like I got to always be fighting to be understood. Right? That's too much energy. I'd rather be alone than to be around people where I always got to be like striving to fit in or striving to try to prove, that I'm normal. Knowing darn well I'm not normal. No, you're not normal. You're not average. That's why you're so angry. Some of y'all are so angry because you're not average. You're trying to be average. You don't want to step into your purpose. You don't want to step into what God is calling you to do. You're afraid. You are afraid because you're so concerned about what people are going to think, what they're going to say, their projections. You know, they already been saying things about you. So you're just so afraid of that. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. You can no longer be afraid and worried about what they're going to say. Time for you to make a decision. Exactly, Gloria. He really does. He really does. You just have to tap into your purpose. Because once you find out, once you start working in your purpose and accept who you are. See, the problem with a lot of us in this world, we're so concerned about what people think of us and not concerned with how God sees us. We're so concerned with what people are going to think instead of being concerned about, am I living out my purpose that God put me on earth to do? And half of us, to be honest, we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we like because you're so caught up in people bondage. You know somebody else's favorite color and what they like more than you know your own. You know what makes other people happy, and you don't know what makes you happy. You're always going out on a limb for other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know more about others and what will make them happy, what will satisfy them, than you know about yourself. Let's be honest. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Miss Candy, he sure does. He surely does. And he wants us, see, the enemy is crafty too, Candace. He wants us to focus on people. He wants us to focus. Because if we're focusing on people and what they think about us and what they're saying and their projections and this and that, we can't focus on what we need to be focusing on. We can't be working on our business and our purpose and doing what it is that God has put in our hearts to do. He has put something in all of us. We should be creating. Everyone has their own variation of creativity. Some of us are singers. Some of us are good cooks. Some of us have various creations. We should be creating. Yes, he really does. Yes, he knows what's in all of us, and he wants to keep us distracted, worried about what people think. That's what it is. Using people against us. Using people to come against us. But see, if you get your purpose and you get focus. Yes, if you get your purpose, you get focus, what people do and what they say won't even bother you. It'll roll off your shoulders. It'll roll off your shoulders like water on a duck's back. It really will. Because you know the plans of the enemy. And you can see what he's trying to do. And he will try you. You have to understand. He will try you. You know, if he can't get you, he'll use those close around you. And you still have to be patient with that. He'll use those close around you. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Try not to be too close. Yes, he'll use those close around you. I'm trying to adjust my camera, you all. Hold on. Yes, he will. He'll use those close around you. Exactly. Excuse me. And then once you learn and you start rejecting him and you start learning his tactics, he won't be able to touch you. You'll be able to be at more peace. Be like, let me ignore them. Like, and then you'll learn too that people, what they trying to project on you, or like their issues, or like, you know how you go in the store, people just got attitude for no reason, or they're nasty and snappy or something like that. Once you learn the enemy's tactics, you'll realize the issues that people have is not a projection. It doesn't have anything to do with you. So you will be able to ignore people. You will stop giving people your energy. Because that's what the enemy wants. He wants your energy. He wants your time. He wants you to be focused and worried about things and people that has, and things that has nothing to do with you. Someone else's attitude and their anger has nothing to do with you. Someone else's road rage, it has nothing to do with you. They're just trying to project it onto you. Either you can accept it or you can reject it. I reject a lot of people's stuff. I'm like, that's not mine. I'm not picking that up. I'm not carrying that. And once we learn how to deal and master people, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. You have to let people keep their stuff. Because sometimes, that's the thing about abuse too. When you got somebody that's very abusive and mean and nasty to you for no reason, and the only thing you're trying to do is love them, that has more to do with them, not you. Their insides is broken. They're at war with themselves. You're just the person close to them, and they're projecting that on you. They want to make it seem like it's you that has the issue, when the issue is them. And they don't know how to regulate and deal with what they got going on internally. Yes, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. People hating and mad at you for no reason, don't like you, rejecting you for no reason. That's because they reject themselves. Everything is a mirror. If you know you didn't do anything to anyone, guess what? That's their issue. And see, the reason we take this stuff so personal sometimes, because I used to take stuff like that personal. When I tell you, I used to take that personal. And you know why I used to take it personal? Because I was unhealed. I haven't dealt with my rejection and abandonment issues. So anything someone did to me, I took that as if it was mine. I took it on as if it were my stuff, because I was dealing with my own stuff. But once I started dealing with my own stuff and looking at myself, I let people keep their stuff. No, you're gonna drop that off here. You taking them bags with you. You taking them grocery bags with you. Look, you taking them grocery bags back with you. You hear me? You taking that baggage, all that. You taking it back. Now you trying to drop them bags. Who? Them bags are not. They won't be able to open their hands. You pick your stuff up and take it back with you. You're not leaving it here. I mean, that's all it is. That's all it is. Once you get to that place, you'll be so peaceful and powerful. Once you learn. Once you learn that, like, yes, you have to. Jacqueline, you have to. And the way you protect your energy is make sure you're always looking at yourself. Because if you're looking at yourself, right? If you're looking at yourself and dealing with your own issues and asking yourself, well, why did I let this person at the store rattle me? I don't even know them. Why did I allow their words to affect me? I don't know them. You have to ask yourself questions like that. Why did I let this person on the road run my pressure up, my blood pressure up? I have a headache now because I let a stranger on the road who flipped me off mad because they're late make me all upset, and I'm upset now going to a place that's supposed to be a happy occasion. I don't gave this person my energy. Oh no, I stopped that foolishness. When I tell you, and how I stopped it is I started dealing with myself. I got tired of people controlling me And I got tired of people telling me what to do, projecting their emotions on me, controlling me. They come in the room, they got a nasty attitude, I get a nasty attitude. No, I got tired of that. And I started dealing with myself, and because see what the enemy likes. Let me tell y'all something. See, I didn't plan on being here this long. And I said this before. What the enemy likes is he likes to keep us in our emotions. He likes to keep us emotional. Like, if a person can jug at you, you ever had people jugging at to do, that's just like a bully. Just like a bully, a school bully. If he knows he can intimidate you and keep you afraid and have you worried and afraid to walk the path he walked, and, or she, because a bully can be a boy or girl, if you're afraid to walk the path, if you're afraid to, come to school and you see them, you put your head down, and you see them, you look the other way, guess what? They're going to keep bullying you. That bully is going to get more energy because they need that energy. They need someone to be afraid of them. But as soon as you stand up to the bully, as soon as the bully come to school and he come up in your face and you hit him with one good right, you pop off at him or her and you just clock him. Okay, you stand up for yourself. Now they looking like, oh, I don't want to bother her no more. Because you finally stood up. You pushed back. You stood up. You're not emotional. You waiting for the bully. You're waiting for him. And he's staring at you and you staring at him. Or she staring, the bully, they like for you to be intimidated. They like for you to look off and cower down and, walk and, be quiet. They like to control your emotions. Yes, they do. Who is him? I don't know who him is. I'm from Morocco. Do you have information on him? And what do you do? I don't know who him is. We're just talking about a bully. But yeah, they like to keep you as long as they keep you in your emotions and upset, because people like to have control of you. I don't know why people like to have control over other people. I don't know why people want to have control and be domineering and just try to control the mood and control everything. Everybody's not going to do what you want them to do. No. People got to control the room, control if you have it, make sure everything. No, just be. Just be. And see, people don't like you. You're going to be hated. I know I've got lots of hate because I don't bow down to people. I don't care who you are. I don't care what title you wear. I don't bow down. I'm not going to cower down and kiss butt and be who everybody else being because you got some title or I don't know. You just prominent. No. Like they say, you treat the CEO and the janitor the same way. You treat everybody with respect, regardless if they got a title or not. But for some reason, people just like to control folks and want them to do what they want them to do. If they're not doing what they want them to do, they're upset with them. They're mad and, no. No. You shouldn't be in the business of wanting to control people. Exactly, Gloria. This is the bold season, okay? Not no nervous season. This is the bold season. And I feel God is healing a lot of his chosen ones. He's healing a lot of his children. He's healing a lot of the chosen supernaturally. Whether you want to believe it or not. I believe that. A lot of the chosen, they're going through like a supernatural healing. And it has nothing to do with going to church. He's doing this himself. He's doing this himself. But that's what I want to talk to y'all about. Dealing with people bondage. We have to deal with people bondage. And you have to make a decision that you're no longer going to be in bondage with people. You're not going to be afraid of people. You're not going to be afraid to speak up. You're not going to be afraid to tell the truth. Exactly, Yvette. Yeah, sometimes they don't know they're being used by the enemy. Yes, exactly, Miss Candace. And I respect all people. Like, some people want you to say, like some people walk in the room with this air sometimes about them, like, y'all bow down to me. No, I'm not gonna bow down. You're not Jesus. Oh, you're not God. I only bow down when the Spirit break me down. That's the only time I'm bowing down. And that's why some of the chosen ones, y'all are some hated people. Chosen ones are hated people because we don't conform easy. And we don't bow down. We don't let a lot of titles and things like that just move us, And people don't like that about the chosen. You're different. They don't like that. They don't like that they don't like that you don't bow down, you don't move quick. Some people, working on some of these jobs, people be wanting you to move and jump and all that, and you looking like, okay, I'll get it done. Look, you be looking like I'm gonna get it done, and you do get it done. You work because you working unto the Lord. You ain't working unto men, and they be wanting you to jump and run, and you know how people be frantic. No, that's not the chosen one. Chosen one's not going to be frantic. Yeah, they want to control you, Jacqueline. No, we don't have time. We're not. See, I'm gonna say this. See, no, I ain't gonna say that. But that's what people want. People want for you to be fearful, and they want for you to bow down to them, and they want to keep you in your emotions. That's why you stay in people bondage. Stay in people bondage. And some of the most hated people on these jobs, in these little, what they call, little animal meals. I don't know what they call them, the job, when you be working on the job. Some of the most hated people are the ones that can't be controlled. The ones that don't bow, the ones that don't conform. Like, some of y'all stay written up because your managers can't control you. They can't intimidate you. They stay conspiring against you. Lying on you, trying to make it seem like why go through all of that? Why go through all of that on the job? Why people have to put you through all of the foolishness, all because they can't control you. All because they can't control you. You got light on you. You come to work, you're happy. Yeah, you come to work, you're happy. You let your light shine. You don't have to do much, but you just shining bright because you just there shining. You don't have to do. Well, you don't have to do much. You just being. And you just still like a target. Like, you almost telling them, like, just leave me alone. Why you just won't leave me alone? But sometimes, let me tell you, chosen one, sometimes, God used situations like that to just refine you. You can't always look at it as people picking on you or mistreating you. He's just refining you, testing you, training you. That's all. You have to look at it that way. Look at every opposition as training ground. When you start looking at opposition like that, people coming up against you, issues you're having in your family, issues you have with your spouse, issues you have with your children, look at it as training. Ask God, what is he trying to do in you? What does he want you to learn? Right? What does he want you to learn? What are you trying to teach me, God? Because you can't always run from your problems. You can't always run from your problems. You got to face things. That's what make you great. That's what make you resilient. That's what give you the tenacity and the strength to stand. And during the test of times, like when times get hard, that's why you can sit there and you can stand, because you've been through this already. You've been through betrayal. You've been through lies. You don't been through hardships. You don't been through training. That's how you can outlast people. Y'all be on these jobs and people going through minor stuff. And they having nervous breakdowns, and you looking at like, that's all you got? Y'all better bring y'all best. You don't been through. You better let them know you don't been through hell and back. And they sitting there coming with petty stuff. You just flicking them problems. You just flicking them. And some people gonna kill themselves. Not literally unalive, but like hurt themselves trying to hurt you, chosen ones. They're gonna hurt themselves because they don't know how strong you are. You just look humble and meek and like a pushover, because you walk in a power and authority that makes you look weak until they test you. Look, until they come for you, they're going to see just how strong you are. Because you don't have to show your fangs. You don't have to flex. Because you know where your strength comes from. You don't have to you don't have to talk. People be doing all this talking. Right? Where I grew up at in the hood, people doing all this talking. You don't worry about them. You worry about the ones that are quiet. You worry about the quiet ones. You don't worry about the ones doing all that barking and talking and false promises. You don't worry about those, the big mouth people. You watch that one that's quiet, who's watching and observing the person who's yapping off at the mouth. Exactly. You got to watch that one. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, Gloria, I'm so glad you didn't do it, dear. I'm so glad I'm obedient. Yes, never do that. Don't do that, because you don't want to abort your purpose. The enemy wants to drive, some of the chosen ones to do that. He really do. Because if you do that, you're going to abort the purpose. The purpose that God has for you. You never want to do that. You got something to live for, Gloria. Yeah, you got something to live for. And you got to believe that. I know it gets hard. See, one thing about the chosen ones, we done been through some stuff. And people don't tell us that. See, the world make it seem as if when you go through things, that means that it's because of something you did, right? Your what do they call it? Your karma, But when you're a chosen one, sometimes you don't go through things. It's not your karma, right? It's not your karma. I just say sometimes it's just your training. When you're going through things, it's not because of something you've done all the time. It's not because of something you've done. It's because of who you are. Remember that. It's not because of something you have done. It's because of who you are. And the enemy knows that. That's why you ever notice, chosen one, let me tell you. You ever notice the enemy always attack our character? He always attack and try to make us feel abandoned, like nobody don't want us, make us feel rejected, make us feel alone, make us feel like we by ourselves, make us feel like no one understands us, make us feel like no one loves us, make us feel like we don't have anything to offer the world. And it is the opposite of what he tried to accuse us of. We have all of that. We have all of that because the enemy will always tell you who you are. You have to listen. If you listen with spiritual ears, your enemy will tell you who you are because he's going to accuse you of everything that he don't want you to believe you are. He's going to tell you what the things I just said. He's going to tell you those things because you're called and you're chosen, and it's the opposite. When he's telling you you're not loved, you are loved by many. When he's telling you you're not, you don't have anything to offer, you got more than enough to offer. When he's telling you no one to, this man or this person doesn't, this woman, doesn't want you because of this, that, and the other. No, somebody else want you because of this, that, and the other. The right person. Yes, he wants to tell you what you're not because you are. You have to believe that. Everything he's telling you, all the thoughts he's putting in your head. Oh, you're not this. You're ugly. You're this. You're that. You won't be able to. You got to believe whatever he's telling you. You got to. What is the opposite of that? All of the negative thoughts and the negative everything that the enemy is projecting onto you. You have to think the opposite of that. That's why he come for your character. That's why he trying to make you feel like you're alone and take you through abuse. That's why so many of y'all have gone through abuse, emotional and mental abuse. People don't have to touch you. Some of you all went through physical abuse. Some of you all went through physical and mental and emotional because he wants to keep you there. He wants you to be confused. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. 1 minute you love the person, 1 minute you don't. 1 minute you're in, 1 minute. If you stay wrapped up in, that's a cycle. The enemy loves to create cycles. Because if he keeps you in a cycle, guess what? You're going to waste your time. Waste your time. Waste your time. And before you know it, it's time for you to check out of here. And you don't waste your time in a cycle of dysfunction. Up and down, round and round, up and down. That's what he wants. He wants to waste your time. He's stealing your time. Yes, he is. Steal, kill, and destroy. He's stealing your time. Because you can't focus on your purpose. He don't want you to discover your purpose. Because if you don't discover your purpose, you can't operate in that thing. Oh, he wants to steal everything. Especially from the chosen ones. He wants to steal everything from us. He wants to steal everything from us. Yes, Miss Candy, yes, that's what he wants. He wants to steal our time. Keep us in cycles and toxic relationships and around toxic friends and family and on these jobs that are not serving any purpose. Just cycles of dysfunction. No, with it seems like there's no ending to the cycle. And the only way you're going to end the cycle is you change something. You have to make a decision to change something. And you have to get, build your relationship with God and have him show you the way. You have to increase your faith. Get in his word and find scriptures on faith. Increase your faith. Increase. If you got to say one scripture, I know Hebrews 11:1. If I don't know no other scriptures. Matthew 21:22. If I don't know no other ones. And I just stick to those. Remind myself of those. I'm not complicating anything. I'm not getting all religious. I'm not doing all the theatrics. I'm not going. Increase my faith with those two. And other ones that I have written down. We got to build our faith up because the enemy wants to steal. He don't want us to believe. He don't want us to believe we can do it. He don't want us to believe we can make it. He don't want us to believe we can survive without whatever it is we think we can't survive without. He don't want us to believe that. He don't want us to believe that. Oh, wow, Gloria. Sorry you had to go through that. And I know that's hard. I know that's hard, but you have to believe that God will use that. Use that for his glory. I know that's a hard pill. I can only imagine. That's a hard pill. And that's what I tell people. People don't understand that, and that's why it's not good to judge everybody's situation. People don't understand that everybody don't have the same situation. Everybody don't experience, they don't have the same, because we think, your parents are supposed to be there. We think your mother is your loving mother, or father is a loving father, or grandparents, loving grandparents, whatever it is, siblings are loving siblings. We think family are supposed to be there for you, but people are not born into healthy families. People are born into dysfunctional, abusive families. And I know some people can't fathom because they don't know what it is. They never experienced it, but some people have. And unfortunately, that is what creates more toxic people. When they don't deal with, and they can't see, and I don't judge anybody for that, because it's very hard. You have to take yourself to a place where God has to go in and you have to allow, you have to allow him to go in and renew your heart and renew your mind. You have to go in and allow him to do that. And the only way he's going to do it if you seek him and ask. So you won't be, so that a person won't be bitter with someone that, it's a hard thing to do. And it takes time. It takes time. It's a very hard thing to do. It's hard to forgive someone who abused you, who mistreated you, took advantage of you. That is a hard thing to do. I had to do it. I had to do it. I was a teenager. I was a baby. I look back on my life, I was a baby and was being taken advantage of. Manipulated. Abused, misused, lied to. And still had to turn around and forgive the person and pray for him. How about that? Pray for him. But I went through my stages of anger and grief and guilt. But now I see how powerful it is. I see how powerful it is because I didn't give that person control over me to break me and make me into somebody that was bitter. I still fought the good fight and still, tried to work on myself. Did the work on myself. Didn't always make good decisions. But still pushing and fighting. Hello, Kiosha. Or Kiosha. I think it's Kiosha. change your name every time you come up, dear. How are you doing? But yeah, it's got to keep fighting. Got to keep fighting. And see, the more you talk about, and so you don't want to talk about your situation to the point to where you are allowing it to consume you, but you want to talk about it. That's why therapy helps, but it don't always work, right? Because you have to renew your mind, and you have to be. Mind renewal comes from reading the Word of God and prayer, right? Therapy works because you get to talk about it. Yes, you got people, they know how their little tactics and their techniques and all that to do, and little I won't say mind games, but little tactics and things they tell you to do. But when you renew your mind by reading the Word of God, that is where you get your deliverance. That is how you get over things. That's what happened to me. My mind had to be renewed, and I had to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and keep doing it until I no longer felt the sting of that thing. And I had to go through all of that. I had to go through all of that so I could come and let people know, listen, I've been there too. I've been through my own stuff. I've been through my own pain, traumas. Some of the stuff I went through, y'all look at me like, I don't believe that. I can get more detail, but listen, I know that day gonna come. Well, I'm gonna have to release it and share with you all some of the things that I've experienced. I know that day gonna come. In my teens, going through things. Like, looking back on it now, I kind of see why I had to go through that. It didn't feel good in it, and it didn't feel good while I was in it. God knows it didn't feel good at all. But now I see that was training. Going through that gave me resilience. It didn't break me. It only strengthened me. Going through toxic relationships only strengthened me, empowered me, woke me up to who I am. Because sometimes we need to be awakened. Sometimes we need to be pushed into our purpose, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the pain has to be so great, it has to push us into our purpose. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Sometimes we got to be forced to go. We don't be wanting to go. Excuse me. We don't be wanting to go. We got to be forced. We got to be kicked out. We holding on. It's the window. We hold on to the window. And God's trying to get us, get out there and walk in your purpose. And we still holding on. Still holding on. And unfortunately, that's just how it is sometimes. Hey, Push the Purpose Ministry. I know I'm on here late. Usually I don't be on here. But listen, I'm going to, in the future, I'm going to start coming on consistently. And I want to say it'll be on Monday nights. I want to say. But it'll be like a consistent thing that I do. Probably here, or probably do Zoom. I don't know if I'm going to do YouTube or Zoom. I'm just trying to, pray and see, how it should be structured. But it'll be something once a week. Alive once a week. Same time once a week. So I'm just trying to get organized and situated and set up. But I think that'll be in July. I think it'll start in July. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Yep. But that's what I want to come talk to you. You've got to be delivered from people bondage. You've got to do what it is. Be bold. Make a decision. Do what it is that that's that God has given you. That desire in your heart. Do that. That desire in your heart, become that. Some of you are so afraid to be who it is that God is calling you to be because you don't want to lose people. You've already lost them because you're afraid to lose them. They're lost anyways. Spiritually, they're gone. It just needs to happen in the natural. You already saw it in your head. In your head, you already know that people are going to leave you because you finally decided to do what it is that God is calling you to do. I was reading the comments there. Yep, spiritually. You already know. And that's another thing I want to talk about later on. Spiritually. You know, spirit, things happen in the spirit first. The spirit realm is more real than the natural. Even God tells us we must worship him in spirit and in truth. And we don't think things are spiritual. No, it's spirit first. Then it's natural. We have to believe that. We have to turn things and put them in their rightful place, in their rightful order. Because you saw, you saw things in the spirit before it manifested naturally. And we have to believe this stuff. We don't want to believe it because the world teaches us otherwise. The world teaches us otherwise. So that's what I want to talk to you about. Be delivered from people bondage. Do what it is that God is calling you to do. Be bold. Make a decision. If people fall off, let them fall off. You just do what it is that you need to be doing. And then you don't have to be nasty. You don't have to give an announcement. You don't have to do, all those things. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that now. And I'm done with people and this. You don't have to do all that. Just make a decision. People, the ones who are meant to be with you, they'll stay with you. And the ones who are meant to fall off, they'll fall off. The ones who are going to misunderstand you, they were already misunderstanding you. Be okay with letting people go. Be okay with being okay by yourself. And it's only for a season. God is sending the right people on your path to help you get to where you need to go. Be okay with that. Be okay with being okay. Walking the path alone until you see some more people on the road that's headed on the path you're going on. He'll always send people to help you. We can't do it. We can't do it by ourselves. He didn't put us in this world to be. And see, that's what the enemy. That's another thing the enemy wants too. He wants us to feel like I said, like we're alone. We are alone. You're not alone. There are other like-minded people in this world that will understand you, love you, care for you, commune, break bread. You just have to ask God to send those people. Show you those people. But don't put all your hope, because that chosen one, sometimes we put all our hope and we put so much into people. Instead of just experiencing them, we want to keep them around forever because the loyalty we have, we want to keep them forever. No, when it's time to let people go, you have to let them go. And it doesn't have to be on bad terms. It doesn't have to be a fallout or anything. It's just, some people just come in your life for a season. And once you embrace that people are on rotation, no one is meant to be in your life for a lifetime. I don't know where we get that from. No one is meant to be in our lives forever. Because we're not meant to be here on this earth forever. Once we learn to, experience people instead of holding on to them, we'll be okay. We'll start seeing life for what it truly is. Because that scripture, life is but a vapor. You heard that scripture before? What is it? Life is like a vapor. Here today, gone tomorrow, just like this. 1 minute we sitting there eating with someone, having fun. The next minute they're gone. Just like that. That's why we have to get to a place to where we tell people what we want them to know while they're here. Because once they're gone, there's nothing, they can't hear us no more. I don't care how we try to make it seem. No, you're just venting to yourself. You just have your regrets or your, your hopes and wishes. We're experiencing people. And there will be a season for us to grieve and enjoy and love and hope and happy. That's a season for all of that. So that's what I wanted. The virtue has left me. Look, all of my virtue has left me. So let me go get ready to get myself prepared for bed. But I wanted to come and share that message with you all before I went to bed. We have to let go and do what it is that God has called us to do. So you all, good night. Be blessed. And I'll keep you guys updated on a few things I'm working on. I love coming talking to the channel members and the responsible ones. I love good night, push the purpose. I love coming sharing my wisdom. I really do. I really do. Yep. You're welcome, Lisa. So good night, you all, and I'll keep you all updated and be blessed. Sleep tight.